Hello, everyone. Yes. Welcome. My name is Katie Krause, and I am the Director for Alumni Engagement here at UD, and also a fellow UD grad. And it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 2019 University of Dubuque Athletic Hall of Fame. We are so blessed to have all of you here with us today, which is a true day of celebration as we welcome the newest members into the University of Dubuque Hall of Fame. Let's give them a round of applause. The Hall of Fame began in 1989, and since then we have had the privilege of recognizing many outstanding University of Dubuque athletes and inducting them into the Hall of Fame. Several of those Hall of Famers are here today. If you are a current Hall of Famer, please stand so we can recognize you. Inductees, it has been a pleasure to work with you over the past months as we have worked towards today, and it is my pleasure to welcome you back to your campus home. And even though the weather isn't quite perfect today, it is a great day of celebration, and the Spartan spirit in this room is undeniable. So enjoy the day, and let's cheer on our fellow Spartans to a great victory over Simpson. Congratulations again to all of our newest inductees, and go Spartans. I would now like to invite Reverend Dr. Jim Gunn forward to lead us in a blessing for the day.
Thank you, Katie. Let us pray. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you are the creator of life and all that is good. You are our Redeemer and Savior, offering healing to that which is broken in this world. And you, Lord God, provide for us and sustain us. We pray for this, your University of Dubuque, thankful for the memories made here, the lives formed here, and the achievements reached here that are recognized today. I'm mindful that while we honor achievements made as students, they have also lived lives of purpose for which I give thanks. We thank you for the fellowship that we've already enjoyed, and Lord, I now ask that you would pour out your Spirit here. May we know of your loving presence among the friendships and the rich fellowship that we experience. In the name of Jesus Christ I pray, amen.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to welcome President Bullock forward to give a little university update and a few remarks.
Thanks for that ovation. It is absolutely great to have all of you back, and first of all, I want to thank Katie, Elton, and your entire team for putting this entire weekend together and for all that you do for our alums and getting them engaged here at the University of Dubuque. So let's thank all of them. I'd also like to add just a word of congratulations to our awardees today. It's really quite an achievement on your part. You know you've been around a while when you not only know these people, but remember them when they were here and their accomplishments. And I have to say, as president, one of the biggest joys that Dana, my wife, and I have is being involved in our students' lives, seeing them to go on, graduate, begin their families often, and to see them move into their young adult lives and with meaning and purpose. And to all of you, I want you to know we're very proud of you and we're grateful for your accomplishments, and we really look forward to what you do with your lives and what you will do back here at the university through your continued engagement. So congratulations, we're proud of you. Just a brief background on the university. If you haven't been here for a while, we've changed a little bit. You've probably gathered that. You see that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of construction. We're at a really, really good part in our history, a good moment in our history, and we're grateful for that. But the thing I think I'm proudest of is that there is a genuine sense of welcome and warmness and humility here. We're very committed to what we're doing. We're very focused about what we do and how we focus on students and our mission. We're grateful for the success we have, but what you're not going to find here is a sense of just kind of big-headedness. That just isn't part of our culture or what we do. We really believe in forming young men and young women into whole people. We believe in an ethic we called caring intrusiveness. That is, we work very hard at getting to know students on a first-name basis, and we know once we know you and are involved in your formation, we can help them to become and continue on the path to be the kind of people that God created them to be, and we're very passionate about that. As we look into the future, you see you can't see, but off to the left here is our new Wallace Common. We will be dedicated that common on October the 4th. That will be dedicated in honor of Howard Wallace, who started teaching at the University of Dubuque Theological Seminary in 1959. Howard is still living. He's still with us. He's going to be part of that dedication. And if you're in the area, we'd invite you back for that. If you haven't received an invitation, that is at noon on Friday, October the 4th. So we'd like to have you back. There's also more going on. You'll see that we're dedicating the Babka Flight Ops Center over homecoming. That's named in honor of Ed Babka, a longtime trustee, wonderful philanthropist. Some of you will remember that a couple of years ago, Ed left, and his wife Shirley left nearly $60 million to the university and to its endowment. Ed loved the university, and he really, really loved our students, and they're paying it forward in a pretty amazing way. Finally, what you'll see this year, we're building a new Welcome Center, and I'm excited for all of you to experience that. It will have an interpretive feature where we'll interpret the mission and the history of the University of Dubuque. We're also building a new student health center. Those projects will be done a year from now, if it ever stops raining, that is. So we're happy to have you here. Congratulations, those of you who are receiving awards. Your biggest contributions, however, aren't here. Your biggest contributions are in the impact you make in your lives and in your communities and in your families. So pay it forward. I hope we played a role in your formation in your life. Don't forget about it, but stay invested in this world we call our home. Thank you very much.
Jeff, I want to thank you for that warm introduction. I'm Dan Rangel, Director of Athletics at the University of Dubuque, and I've been here since about 2002. In fact, the first Hall of Fame that I attended, it was in Blades Chapel. I don't know if didn't get nominees at that time. We had to try find somebody. And we did have punch and popcorn. I think we had to pop the popcorn first ourselves. So it's grown quite a bit since then, and it's been a very exciting growth within the Hall of Fame. And as President Bullock mentioned, there will be a place for the Athletic Hall of Fame as well as the University Hall of Fame in the new Welcoming Center. That's we're excited about putting it over there. Sort of the days of all the plaques on the walls are sort of gone. Let's get up to the modern time where you push a button, the name pops up, the picture pops up, and away we go. All right. So that's what our goal is from there. So anyway, I want to again congratulate the awardees as going to tonight, and we're very excited about having them. And you know what's happened over the years is that it seems like every time we award someone, and every year we consider people for the Hall of Fame, records are broken. And I guess that's what athletics is all about, is breaking records. So, and that's been done a lot with the nominees and awardees that are here tonight. So the first person to get started is a young man that was very, very exciting to watch as a quarterback, because he could run everywhere, he would throw, He was just Mr. Excitement. And as I talk about him, but first let him come on stage, Jermara Jackson. Class of 2010. Most of you can read what's in there, but I always like to highlight a few things that I think are super important, all right? 3-time all-conference quarterback, all right? 1,270 career pass attempts, UD record. 47 career rushing touchdowns, UD record. 666 career rushing attempts, UD record, all right? So 21 rushing touchdowns, UD record. So as you look through there, I'm just talking about records, you know, this young man has broken a lot of records. And I don't know how many were back here in the time that he was playing, but he was very, very exciting to watch. And I've had a very interesting game at Wartburg one time, right? So yeah, good, a fun one. So anyway, since that time, he's done a lot from his personal standpoint, from a standpoint of helping coach youth and other things. He was selected to play in the Aztec Bowl, which is a Division III recognition of outstanding players. So without further, I'd like to introduce Jermara Jackson. Congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't write anything. I'm gonna just go from the heart and the head. Well, thank you for inducting me. This is a special honor, and I have came a long way from a visit to being in the Hall of Fame, and I didn't think of this. I didn't think this would happen, but I did say one day when we did come that I'm gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's not there anymore, but the board the thing, you know, the places where they had everybody that was in the Hall of Fame. I said to myself and to my twin brother that I'm gonna do that one day, but not thinking none of it, and didn't think the journey was gonna be like it was, but it was, and then this is it. I just wish my mom could have been here to see it. Wish she passed 6 months ago unexpectedly, but that happens. We live, we die. That's just a part of life, unfortunately, but it comes with the territory. But she sees this now. She's here right now. So thank you. Thanks for inducting me, and this is not it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Got it? Congratulations, Jar. The next recipient, Sidney Rangel Kohl, class of 2011 and MBA of 2016. Sidney graduated from the university in 2011. She started 83 career games at University of Dubuque, which is a record. She was Female Athlete of the Year, 2-time first team all conference, all right, and just an outstanding athlete. Since then, she's working at sort of your own business a little bit, I think, a little bit. Sidney Rangel Kohl. You okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Thank you. So I did write something, I'm sorry. I promise it's only 3 minutes. Let me begin by saying how honored I am to be joining these 6 well-deserving individuals to join the Hall of Fame class of 2019. It's an honor to be introduced by Athletic Director Dan Rangel, and Mr. Rangel is also a Division III Hall of Fame inductee at his alma mater, Illinois College. Today, 2.8% of female high school soccer players go on to play NCAA Division III. My college career was made possible by those who took a chance on a player who wanted to prove she was anything but average. A special thanks to our University of Dubuque women's soccer coach, Jason Berna. He created an environment that pushed me when I needed to be pushed, challenged me every single day to improve, nurtured me when I needed it, and molded me not only into the player, but the person that I am today. Thank you to my teammates for picking me up when I was not playing my best, and for them to let me pick them up when they were not playing theirs. To my husband and family, you all have been my rock, my biggest fans. And to my personal trainer and mentor, Jared Schomburg, you taught me consistency, discipline, and what it truly takes to succeed at anything you set your mind to. After stepping off the field in October of 2010, who would have thought I would have the opportunity like this? I thought a great deal what I wanted to say, especially to my children, to share with them about my college soccer career. A friend once said to me, 2 of the greatest gifts you can give your children are memories and values. Looking back on my college career, one memory that vividly stands out is winning the IAC tournament and going to the NCAA Division III National Tournament for the first time in program history. From that memory and many others, we learn values that are encompassed in words like hard work, sacrifice, compassion, respect, and perseverance. Humbling experiences through soccer that I would like to share with you. Life is not fair. Coming off the bench in high school was not who I wanted to be remembered. We aren't all promised the same things in life. Some of us have to work harder than the rest. I never set out to hold the record for most games played. I stand here today not because I accomplished as much as those selected for this honor. I believe I stand here today because of the actions I took to better myself and our team. Hearing people's stories of success matter. Those stories leave impressions upon us. They can shape how we live our lives, and they impact who we become. They also offer us something of possibly more value, the opportunity to leave a lasting mark on the world around us. I came here today to say thank you to all of those who crossed my path and didn't miss their opportunity to leave a lasting impression. It made all the difference. Thank you.
You made it. Let's walk over here to this photographer, and you can hold this, and we get out of the way.
Hi.
We know how difficult it is to win conference championships, and this young woman was a leader for it. You made it. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Felicia Payne, class of 78. Felicia Payne is here somewhere. I know. As Felicia makes her way up here, we had an interesting story trying to find Felicia. And then I was given phone numbers as I tried to research the recipients so I could make contact with them to congratulate them. So I called Felicia Payne, a 1978 graduate in Connecticut, and she said, I'm not the right Felicia Payne. So now what are the odds of 2 Felicia Paynes graduating from the University of Dubuque in 1978? But there were. So now we found the real Felicia Payne, all right, living in Chicago. You know, as we look at Felicia's records, I think they're amazing. 47 points in a game versus Mount St. Clair, UD record. 47 points, 32 rebounds. That means Clark was missing a lot of shots. 22 field goals, all right, a UD record, all right. She went on to play professional basketball after her college career. Later was in the United States Army, and later after that was a member of the Chicago Police Department. So quite a career, and welcome to the Hall of Fame, Felicia.
Coming back to this campus brought back a lot of memories. It was good to be here. It was. I can't remember having a bad day. I was talking to one of my teammates, and we was discussing how we had so much fun here. I want to thank the athletic director, and I want to thank the alumni department for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. I want to thank the support of my family for being behind me every step of the way. I want to thank my teammates for making the game so enjoyable that I didn't think about what I was doing. I just did it because we had fun. I want to also thank you all for being here, because with your presence here is just more than words can say. You're here enjoying the weekend with us. And once again, I want to truly, truly thank everybody. Just thank you.
Let's find this gentleman over here. Our next recipient is Justin Spaulding. Justin, come forward. Good to see you, buddy. Justin brought us back from the 78, 79, 80 team. The first time we won a conference championship was 2011 with Justin as our running back. Justin was an All-American running back. He was 3-time All-Conference. He holds the record for most career rushing yards, the most rushing attempts, and yards rushing in 2011 was a record as a season. Exciting player. You all remember watching Justin run ball. That was a great team back in those days, and it's exciting to go to the playoffs. But this young man carried us a lot because he's a great runner, a hard worker, and he's very intelligent. And I remember visiting with him when he was graduating. And the thing he wanted to do most was make lots of money. That's not bad. Just as volume.
Thank you guys for the opportunity and the induction. The opportunity was awesome. Jermara, man, I didn't really know you too well because we were kind of in the transition, but between me and you, we had 1,200 plus carries. I don't know how we're still alive. I remember I had 43 or something like that in one game, and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. But just a lot of great memories here. Came in, and I was a transfer from UW Whitewater and played in a national championship game there on special teams. I was a backup running back, and I've been playing tackle football my whole life from first grade all the way on, and playing 10 games a year. And before I came here, I hadn't lost more than 5 games my whole career. In the first year, I think we had lost. It was my sophomore year. I think we lost 5 or 6 games, and I'm like, Coach Z, like, what are we doing here? But that whole building process of the guys that we played with that first year and the second year, we were a bunch of young guys at that point, and we just grew together and we started clicking. And so thank you to my teammates, thank you to the coaches. And that senior year was really special. We knew that my junior year. In 2010, we had a lot of injuries. We thought that was going to be a really good year because that was kind of the second year we were all together. But then that third year of my senior year, 2011, we just knew it was going to happen. And sports has taught me more than anything. I would say besides my parents and the work ethic that they kind of instilled in me. But sports just has given me that foundation to be able to truly believe that I can go out and do whatever I really want to do. And I don't think there's any other way for people to learn certain life lessons other than through competitive sports. So thank you guys for the induction. Thanks to my coaches, teammates, mom and dad for everything that you guys have taught me and the work ethic that you instilled, Jamie and Bryn for being here in our future, and Tom, my buddy up there. I mean, like all those workouts that we used to do growing up, man, like that was a foundation to kind of everything that came after that. I mean, we were in the gym, like that's all we did. It was gym, video games all summer long. 4 hours in the gym and video games. So thank you for being here today. That means a lot. And congratulations to all the other inductees as well. I know Josh is coming up here, who's a heck of a wrestler in a little bit, and Sid, we were here at the same time. And so it's cool to see you guys and be in the same class as you guys, and it'd be good to come back to these together. So thank you guys.
Hey, Justin. Pineapple over here. Our next recipient is Josh Terrell. Josh. Josh was the Division III national champion in 2011 wrestler, which is, I don't know how many of you wrestled, but it's a tough sport. That's why I've never done it. And so I really appreciate those guys that go out there and do it, though. So it's also, he's been a 3-time all-conference performer, national champion. He's a recipient of the UD Alumni Award for Merit, and has continued to be really involved in the University of Dubuque, which we really appreciate, Josh. And he's moved away from Dubuque, though, to Des Moines, and now he'll probably be on that commercial where you hear all the time, Aflac, Aflac, Aflac. Congratulations, Josh Terrell.
Let's go. All right, first of all, where's Katie? Well, she might be out for a bit. But hey, I'd like to thank Katie and her team, the alumni office. I think they do a great job with engaging. But this picture makes me look pretty ferocious. So, a lot nicer than that. And Felicia, being a wrestler, I can think of a few bad days. But I won't go into those on my end. So, no, this is exciting. This is very exciting to be a part of and to be here. I think a lot of what I experience is because of the people in this room. And so, yeah, I'll unpack it for just a couple moments, so bear with me. So, coming to UD, I got to admit, I was less than enthused. I got here through a chain of events, transferring from Northern Illinois University, and I thought that Iowa had it out for me. And so I looked up at the end of the semester, and I was planning on transferring, right, to be totally candid. And I looked up at the end of the semester, and I had like a 3.8, and I looked up at the end of the second semester, and I punched my first All-American honors, right? So I was figuring this place is not so bad, right? It's kind of like a 2.78 student, right? So not many people believe that was my report card being handed to me. But then something special started to happen. We started to develop a lot of relationships. Immediately, a lot of those were in the team. A lot of the guys that are here today, Dottie, Lesnar, Bobby Evan, and so many more that we saw just a couple of days ago. By the way, my buddies Pat Bauer and Shelly got married. It was awesome yesterday. It was a big wrestling alumni, and so it was a wrestling match that Evan starred in. So it's kind of off script. In the midst of those relationships, I got to know people through campus ministry, Rev, a guy named Tim Schneckloff, super impactful, and a lot of folks around campus, professors, administrators, other athletes. It was really fun watching you guys. Jermara, I remember you tearing it up too, man. I always wanted to be a successful wrestler. I always wanted to be a national champ, right, from when you go in. I think that's the goal if you're going to compete, right? You're all in. And I found, though, that, my greatest accomplishment and what I noted here was taking third, right? And so it sounds a little weird. It is kind of weird. But what happened was very memorable for me, right? So, I'm top of the bracket, seeded number 1, anticipated to win the tournament, and I lost first round, right? Side note, I remember going to my back and the crowd erupting. I was livid, right? But I got off the mat, and I was weeping, and President Bullock showed up and engulfed me in his big arms, and I probably had a bunch of tears and snot all over his jacket. And typically in those moments, you want some empathy, you want some sympathy, right? You want to feel better about, hey, you should have been the guy, you had a bad match, or you got screwed, or something happened. But he said something I'll never forget, right? And it was, hey, to come back and get third, you're going to have a slippery slope, right? Or a steep slope uphill, right? I was like, what? That's not what I need right now. And so it was a fantastic moment of empathy, but he didn't let me feel sorry for myself. My coach started to reinforce that. And every single match from there was, I wanted to burst emotionally. I was upset. I feel like I, failed myself, the team. And it taught me a lot about adversity, right? It taught me about attacking of everything that gets in your way, right? And so that transcended the sport for me, and it made the national championship so much more awesome, right? And I think I had perspective because of that. Over the course of competing, I got a couple of notable days for some folks here. So my least productive day starts with a guy named Bobby in practice, right? So I'll tell you, Bobby was a fantastic coach. But if you know Bobby, he's an awesome dude, great friend, but he's very exaggerated, right? You have to figure out what Bobby's really telling you. So coach is showing us this move, the claw. So we're in, and I get this claw on Bobby, and I'm getting ready to wrench it tight, and Bobby squeals like, I don't know what it was. The rest of that day was done. Sorry, coach. Somebody once told me that you live 3 stages. You aspire for one of 3 stages, right? Survival, success, and significance, right? And I'm starting to learn a little bit about what that means. And so in my thank yous and wrapping it up, I'd like to share a few examples of those. So my family, both my families, my wife's side, my side, awesome. Lauren, Deb, I'm so appreciative of you guys from raising my wife. You can see that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and so I hope that she will be the folks that you are when we get old, which is a long time from now. I'm still 22. Mom, sister, aunt, Dolores, my grandparents, all special stories. Mom, you were a living epitome of sacrifice. We were a single parent household, 5 kiddos. Sometimes we were in one room. I don't know how my mom's made it work, but she did. She sacrificed a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources so that I can get to where I was going. And you can have anything I got, Mom, just don't ask me for it today. My grandparents, these guys are my second parents. I'm so proud to see these guys every time I run into them. But they stepped in and filled the gap when my dad wasn't around, right, which was special. I'm talking little things, right, how to go out and get a haircut, keep money in your pocket, how to treat people, right, how to give your stuff and yourself away. I've watched this guy give away cars, and I watched these guys give away bikes to kids in neighborhoods, and I was like, why are we doing that, right? And it's starting to cement, so if I can be half the folks that you guys are growing up, I'll be all right. UD faculty and staff, man, there are a ton of special people. From athletics, Coach Runk and Deb, you guys were always incredibly supportive, and I watched the program turn around because of it. Dr. Bullock, I can remember just about something from all of our one-on-one conversations. I consider you a strong mentor today. That's my daughter, everybody. Say hi. Just want to get that elephant out. Other people, Chris Peterson, thanks for coming, man. He's like a big brother to me, my Iron Man. A great true north, right? A great compass, man. I feel like I see Chris's number come across the caller ID. I only pick it up if things are going well. I'm just kidding, Chris. Coach McGovern, man, I learned a lot from you. Leadership, what true leadership is. And it wasn't about talk, it was about doing. I watched you give a shirt off your back for people to train in when they didn't have one, or get rid of your shoes when somebody needed to go run and cut some extra weight. And meet me in the restroom at 5:47 a.m. We always met at weird times, right? But it taught me something about discipline. I was running out of the house to get there at 5:47 a.m. But you're an outstanding role model. You are a servant leader. And University of Dubuque is a better place because of it. So thank you for what you've done for me. Bobby, he's our assistant coach here for a while, and he's one of my best friends. Big part of helping me to get to where I got. Man, you're crazy sometimes and wild, but I respect the heck out of you more than you know. So thank you for following Coach's footsteps and servant leadership. There wasn't much you guys wouldn't do to help me get to where I was going in the team. Good friends here. Evan, you made me a better competitor, man. We always told people that we were 50-50 in the wrestling room, right, just to keep drama down, but let the record be known 51-49, okay? But he's also a Hall of Fame inductee as of last year, and he's a great friend, man. Lesnar, thanks for being one of my best friends, man. Thanks for picking up the phone and just listening to me. Coming back, I used to get down on myself on the buses, and these guys used to crack jokes, and I had to remember that the Rome was not going to burn because I lost a match, right? So these guys helped me keep perspective all the time. Dottie, thanks for what you did in that Ironman Council. We won't forget about that. We'll keep that quiet, though. You guys know what I'm talking about. Tina, where are you? She's with my screaming daughter. Her face should be here in this booklet. She has been an incredible support. She is the definition of love. If I told her I was going to go pursue competing again, she'd ask me if I was crazy, but she'd go with me. And she's fantastic. We now have a beautiful daughter, Genesis, who's 15 months old, and so life has changed. And then some folks that aren't here, my high school coaches. I'm telling you, these guys are special, significant, right? Where they would give me gas money to go to tournaments when I didn't have it in high school, or pay for my entry. Just the little things to help me get to where I'm going. They invested in me, right? A lot of folks here have done that, and so all of this is because of that. Right? Lastly, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So without him, there is no this. Right? Everybody's making a bet on something. Everybody's betting on something every day. Right? My bet is when we close our eyes 1 second after we get out of here, we're going to have to answer to the Creator. Right? Your bet could be maybe everybody goes to a good place, or your bet could be you figure it out when the time comes, right? But I would encourage you to get to know this guy. He's changed my life. And yeah, I guess I'll end out saying when the medals rot and all the awards go to dust, the only things that'll matter is the relationships that we built and what we've done for Christ. So I thank you guys, man, for investing in me, for believing in me, for loving on me, because I was a project. So go UD. Yeah, and thank you guys.
Sure, I'd hate to be a competitive company against you because this athletic rep, you just wear us down. You just keep wearing them. Hey, congratulations. Did a great job and a great career. And there's the man who's going to take the picture. All right. Okay, our next recipient is class of 81, Rick Wallace. Rick has quite the group here. I know, they haven't changed much probably from the time they were here in the late 80s from that standpoint. They're still rowdy, but that's okay, all right? So Rick was a 1981 graduate at the University of Dubuque. He is the captain of the football team for 4 times. He is a first-team all-conference performer and did much, much more, not only on the football field, but in life afterwards, because as you can read through the agenda there, he was a tremendous coach, very successful coach, started a number of years of programs, Teacher of the Year, recipient of the UD Alumni Service to Community Award, and so just an outstanding career. Now, if you look and see that unlike Spaulding or Justin or Jermara, there's not a lot of rushing yardage and stuff like that. Now, if you look at the picture in there, you'll see number 64. They don't hand the ball off to 64 very often. And they don't throw too many passes to 64 either. That's the grunts, okay? Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to have to talk fast. They say I only have 40 minutes, so. As Joshua said, I want to thank God. It's very important in my time of life that I'm still alive and here through some accidents and surgeries and some injuries. And we have, of course, lost our leader that put us all together, Coach Don Birmingham. And as well as that, we lost a good teammate, Joe Miller. And very, very recently, we lost Mark Anderson, our wide receiver, about a month ago, who passed away trying to save another individual from drowning, and that individual drowned both of them. So it's kind of put a little damper on this festival of our 40-year reunion. I was very fortunate here to be part of a 3-year conference championship team, 2 years national playoffs. They have got into national playoffs since us twice, and they have also won 2 conference championships. But they've never won 3 championships in a row. We are the only group in the history of the university in any sports that have won 3 conference championships in a row, and I take pride in that. I want to thank my mother. My mother made a lot of late meals during athletics, cleaned a lot of clothes, practice and non-wat. She was always there to cook for other individuals, as many other moms were, and she always saw that we had something to eat and took care of us. I want to thank my father. My father instilled in us about hard work and practice. He was also a great baseball coach in his own right who had won many, many championships. I want to thank my brother and my sister. My brother says, of course, my brother and sister are twins, and if you can figure that one out, I'll never understand 1 6'3" and 1 5'7". I don't figure that one out, but they're twins. I was born in January 28th. My brother and sister twins were born in December 28th, all of the same year. So my folks had 3 kids in 1 year, and for 1 month, we're all the same age. My sister, my dad bought us some dirt bikes, and none of my high school teammates would ride those dirt bikes because my sister was a better rider than they were. That still makes me laugh today. My brother, he says I'm good because of him. I hadn't figured that one out yet, but that's why he says I was a good athlete. I'm very, very happy to tell you that I have a lady that I met from Dallas, Texas after being a college coach, and she was a student. I was featured in the Lubbock newspaper that day. I had 3 friends from Chicago. The 2 nights before, they somehow got lost in Chicago from happy hour and ended up in Lubbock, Texas at the college football game. And as I'm watching them during the football game and the pregame, they keep telling me, how do I look? How do I look? I'm like, you look fine. Police officer says, hey, you guys got to get back in the stands. I said, no. How do I look? And I said, you look fine. They all had my clothes on. They drove down from the happy hour. They had no clothes. So they hadn't figured that out yet. So that was one of the biggest shocks of my career. Being selected first team all-conference here was quite the honor. My wife has followed me from coaching at 2 colleges and 8 high schools. She has, I think she's known Allied Van Lines and all the other things better than I have, because a lot of the times moving in the state of Texas, it's very competitive as a coach, and 2 of the moves I had to sleep in the locker room because I couldn't afford 2 homes. So she handled most of the moves and everything, and she knows more about pro football than I ever thought about. So, and I don't care to go into that. So, but I appreciate my wife, Sissy. I'm happy to have Dusty and Bren into our family. It makes me very, very happy that we have both of them. And they do a lot for all of us, and I'm grateful for that. There were individuals that always took care of us, and a lot of times they didn't get a lot of credit. That was our second moms, and that was Coach Birmingham's wife, Coach Cartho's wife. Also, one we sometimes forget about was Mrs. Zunk. Mrs. Zunk also took care of a lot of us, and I'm kind of disappointed because we haven't seen her name brought up a lot in these events, and I know she did a lot for me and a lot of other individuals, like Josh was saying about giving us money to go eat, cafeteria not open on Sundays, inviting us over to the house to get a meal for those of us that didn't have money to go get a meal. And she was a great person for that. I want to thank also Katie, Coach Davison, and Mike Masters for helping make this be a very positive event, taking a lot of their individual time and trying to guarantee that it is successful, and it is successful. This is already, it was mentioned, because you're here. Without you being here, it's nothing. It's just another day. And I'm appreciative for that and be honored for that. I'm glad my friends Joe and Patty made it. He's, as mentioned before by some of the other candidates, I grew up with him in high school, played high school athletics with him, and they're very special to me in my life, Joe and Patty, and I thank you for coming here for this. We had something here that I don't know if I was honored to be a part of it or sure was exciting. We used to have games here on the quad. It was called Spring Bash. That was the wildest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Right there under the quad, right under the bell tower. It was a huge like carnival. Had all kinds of events, you know, the pie eating contest like you see on all those movies and all this. There was one thing that stuck in my mind, and we haven't talked about that yet, so I'm shocked. They had, I can't remember, it was $50 or $100 first prize, but it was a goldfish eating contest. Yeah, goldfish. Whoever ate the most goldfish won the $50 or $100. Now I'm like, this can't be real. I mean, there's no way. Well, one of the individuals I told you passed away, Joe Miller, and the other one who's a 2-time All-American here, Gene Rao, they face off as the other contestants face away, and they're swallowing these goldfish, and I mean him putting them down. Well, Gene, when he hears everybody look down just like you do, the ham he is, he starts putting the goldfish halfway in his mouth, and the little tails are doing this. Yeah, there were some that didn't like that in their stomachs very well. Well, the short version is they tied. You know why they tied? They each ate 100 goldfish apiece, and they ran out of goldfish. And needless to say, we didn't have Spring Bash anymore on campus. I had a group that I still today feel real close with me. That's the guys that I worked with every day through drills, and that was the offensive linemen. We had Joe Massa, Doug Wilson, Rory Starks, Mickey Eliano, and then the late, great Joe Miller. We went through all drills, sweating. We'd run out from the old facility over there. I don't even know if it's even still there. But we had to run down past 80D, and that was the elevated stadium there, and right underneath it was our practice field. but they had tennis courts over there, if you guys remember that. And I don't remember who I was talking to when we had 3-a-days. And I said, man, what the heck is wrong with us? We're out here 3-a-days, sweating our butts off, beating the heck out of each other, and my buddy's out there playing tennis with them girls in skirts. I just don't get it. There's something wrong with this picture. Wouldn't trade it for anything. I love the sport. I love these guys. Then it was after we won our first championship and went 7-2. And a guy that I hold very, very dear to was Roy Starks, our center. Him and I were looking at each other one day and said, hey, you know, we're district champs, and we pretty much got everybody coming back. We need to do something, work a little harder and keep it going and not live by that one accolade of being conference champs. And somehow Roy and I decided, which was real dumb, after they run the snot out of us in wind sprints, we're going to run back a half a mile to the locker room after every practice. And we did. It started. It started with our group, and it started picking up. After they ran us, we started jogging back every single practice, back to the locker room. Didn't matter how hard practice was, how bad we hurted. Hence, the next year, 9-0. Beat the dog out of everybody in our conference. Our first year of that 7-2 season, which some of us talked about, and I talked with Coach Carthel, we go 7-2, conference champs. University of Dubuque hadn't won anything in football. So we hear there was quite a ruckus in the all-district conference meeting after this. And Coach Carthel was not very, very happy, because he was not very happy when you took a conference championship team. Gene Rowell on defense was the only defensive first team all-conference, and Rick Wallace was the only offensive player first team off-conference. And Coach Carthel wasn't very happy about that. We heard he said a few choice words, so I'm going to find out today what those few choice words, because he went storming out of there, and them dumb coaches in the conference couldn't figure out 90% of us were coming back. And so I know we put it on some teams that we could have let up a little bit, but we really did put it on. But I want to thank you. This has been one of the greatest moments of my life here at University of Dubuque. The staff was outstanding. They took care of us well, taught us a lot about leadership, education. All the coaches were wonderful, did the extra mile, and you can see that by some of the results of all of us, male or female, at any year that graduate, and it's helped turn the corner. Because folks, let me tell you, when we got here, if you saw the facilities, half of you wouldn't have dropped your children off. Thank you.
Rick. Congratulations. Thank you. Well done. I don't know why, but every time we have one of these, somehow somebody by the name of Davison tries to get the basketball team involved, which he's done it again, you know. Our last group would be the 1980-81 men's basketball team. It was the first University of Dubuque basketball team to qualify for the NCAA championship. And that was done, as he says in the write-up here, when Ray made a 45-foot shot to win 60-59 over William Penn, which is a 45-foot shot is not very common, of course. So they finished the race season 20-8, and they just had a great record, and we're happy to see a lot of them back today. So I invite the team to come to the stage, please. Help you up, old man.
I get to speak.
You're there. You got the mic. You always say it.
Can't shake it.
I know. I see it.
That's not fair. I didn't know he was coming. Now I got to take my shirt off, my coat off. Thank you. I'll hold it. Go ahead. This is why we're here. 1980-81. And this shirt is an original. I found it in my laundry room. I lost my wife 9 years ago, and so she left some of the laundry. So anyway.
Sorry, Coach, we forgot to get that for you.
Yeah, that's right. And fortunately, I found this shirt, and I was trying to decide whether I dress up, put a jacket on, a tie, da-da-da-da-da. But I thought I would wear this one, and I got a shirt for each of them, and I thought maybe they could all wear it for the ceremony, but I forgot. They weighed 190 pounds or 200 pounds back then.
I'm still there. One leg.
Yes. So anyway, it's such a pleasure to be here. I congratulate all the recipients and all the parents that are here. You can be very proud of all the winners and of your sons and daughters. And I want to introduce these guys, but I'm going to... this guy that came in, he's still... Anyway, I can't even begin to explain what happened. Anyway, starting from the far end, Jeff Cutter. Jeff drove all the way from Dayton, Ohio to be here for this event. Ron Buckner from Atlanta, Georgia, drove, I think you thumbed your, no, he drove all, all the way from Atlanta. He has family in Chicago, so I hope he stopped and visited them. The next gentleman, his father and I were very, very good friends, as his father was a coach at Warren High School, I believe was the name of it, in Wheaton. Wheaton High School. Anyway, and we talked about his son coming here to play, and unfortunately he came. But I did not know what happened to him. I've tried calling him. I've tried calling his dad. Wasn't able to track him down. But a very special part of this team, Mike McGee. Mike? The next gentleman is the reason why we're here. Other than this shirt. Anyway, I had them all over to the house today for breakfast, for brunch. My wife always had them out periodically for a game. Before the game, we always had them out for dinner. And sometimes that would be like 2 days before a game. We wanted to fill up on carbos. And she would either fix lasagna, spaghetti, whatever the case may be. Well, my wife passed away, but I saved her recipe. So today we had brunch of spaghetti and salad, and I think I even have leftovers for tonight. But anyway, it was so special to have them there, and especially to have her still in their lives. In the process, we had to call our mom, their stepmom. Their stepmom was Marilyn Zunk, that you've heard mentioned. Well, Marilyn lives in South Carolina. I talk to her probably at least once a month to bring her up to date as to what goes on. And her daughter and my daughter are best of friends, and my daughter was just there last week. So at any rate, we proceeded to have our spaghetti. And while they were eating downstairs, I was upstairs. and I was listening to the conversation, and there was an awful lot of laughter and joking, and so the ladies that were helping me, like Nancy Johnson and Dana Usher, that were upstairs with me, and they said, why don't you go down and join them? Well, I went down there, and all of a sudden the laughter stopped. So you know who they were laughing at. But anyway, I said, well, look, I was supposed to say a few words about you guys today, but I think one of you guys ought to take this podium. So I said, how many would like to see Ray take the podium? Well, everybody raised their hand. Well, Ray says, I don't want to get up there. And that's the truth. But the reason is in the paper here. Last second shot made by Ray Kantowski. We have lived that shot. How many times? Today, yesterday, the day before. We had it long distance, so we had it short distance. But I am proud to say that I drew up the play. And Chad Steckel, his brother, who passed away a couple of years ago, made the pass to Ray Kantowski. And at the huddle, before that play was executed, I said, Ray, you can do this. And he was very humble. Anyway, we set up the play. We had 2 seconds on the clock, and Wade threw the ball into Ray, and I had told him, take 2 dribbles. Don't shoot as soon as you get it. He had 2 seconds on the clock. That's 2 dribbles. So he got it, took 2 dribbles, shot it from 45 feet, nothing but net. And the crowd went crazy. Well, that made us into the playoffs. Now, we were very fortunate because we finished second. The first place team got the reward of going to Beloit. That's Wisconsin. And they had to play Beloit College. Well, we got second place, and we got the second prize. We got to go to Whittier, California. Well, my wife and Mrs. Zunk went along. And after the 2 games that we played, they took an extra day and took them to Hollywood. So these guys had the reward of the not the championship. We got second place, but it was awesome. But the second day, I got to tell this part of it because Ray will kill me if I don't. He made that shot live in the game, and that won the ball game for us. But the next day, I said, we're going to re-execute that play. So we brought him out, gave him the ball at 45 feet, nothing but net. So we knew it was either fate or he was really talented.
But Coach, this morning at your house, that was 85 feet.
Anyway, Ray was the last I introduced. The next gentleman was a transfer to me, but I had he and his brothers in camp, basketball camp growing up. And Chad Steckel was one of our very outstanding guards from, at that time, Davenport West High School. Now he's assistant coach. His wife's the head coach. in Lansing, Iowa. And our next gentleman, raise your arm. Good. Jeff Usher. I recruited Jeff, I think, as a golfer, but man, he could shoot the basketball. And he was one of our very outstanding three-point, well, they didn't have three-point shots back then, did they? Tells you how old we are. Anyway, Jeff has had an accident and they did surgery and it's been dislocated, and we're just glad that he could come from Carlsbad, California. So they come from a long distance. Larry Smith is the next gentleman, and Craig, I got to introduce them at the same time because they were my two assistants at the time, assistants as managers, and very good ones because anything we needed done, they did. And they were marvelous, and they were responsible for keeping this shirt clean. And so that's why we're here. And what?
Come on, Les.
Oh, where did he go?
He had to move. He went out to the restroom, I think.
Oh, oh yeah.
I knew someone was missing. Craig didn't tell me where to be.
Well, you can tell we couldn't go anywhere without him. But one little story about Lester. You know, when you're riding vans, in those days we didn't ride buses. We rode vans, two vans, and I drove one, and Coach West, who is in Charlotte, South Carolina today, he drove the other. But I've never seen anybody sleep on the vans. I mean, you're bouncing around, and you know, you got 12 guys in a van or 15. Well, he was asleep within the first 3 minutes. That was the ability to relax. And he was very good at that, and he was very good at blocking shots, and he was very good as a teammate. So, and he's from Maquoketa, Iowa, and back in Bellevue and Maquoketa. So that's our basic squad from what's that say? Whittier, 1981. Thank you very much. Oh, all right. Make it short.
Yeah, real short.
That's enough.
Myself and my teammates would like to thank the University of Dubuque for this prestigious award. This is a first-class, top-notch university, and I'm glad to be a small part of it. And I'm going to be real brief. In the last 15 or 20 years, I probably called Coach 2 times a year. I mean, 2 times a week. Have we got in yet, Coach? Have we got in? No, not yet. Ray Dog, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Well, the last time I called him, I think he changed his number. But he finally called me and said we got in, and I was the happiest guy in the world. And we wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the greatest coach we've ever had, but not only that, a better human being. And we all love him to death, and that's Coach D. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations. It was a great team effort, great job, great year, and we're happy to have you be inducted into the University of Dubuque Athletic Hall of Fame. During John's presentation, besides feeding the team at his house and taking the team to Hollywood, today he would have 5 NC2 violations against him. And this team would probably be on probation. Congratulations. Why don't you all right up out, grab a plaque. There should be one for everybody.
Did we get beat today?
What's that?
The Cardinals.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you. Good gentlemen.
I don't know how you want them to be pictured. Why don't you all try to get together, and he'll move over that way, and he'll try to get your picture right over here.
Where is he at?
Right there. Right straight there.
Easy for you to say. One more.
Yeah, Ray, that's counting class 1.
All right. Thank you all. Again, can we have a round of applause for all the recipients today? Congratulations to them all. As they always say, it's never easy. It takes a lot of hard work to have a great team and great players, and we're just so proud of you all. Now, I know she said to turn it back to her, and I did not forget. I want to thank you all for coming. I have to go to a football game to get going here, so I'll turn it back over to Katie. Thank you.
Hello again. Just a few quick housekeeping notes before we take off for the day. For all of the inductees and the basketball team, we're going to do some post photos up here. So if you can hang tight with me, I'd like to do a big group photo of all the individual inductees and the team, and then we'll also do family photos. So if you can just hang back, that would be great. All of the photos that were taken today, and if you were at any events yesterday, they will be posted on our photo sharing site. All of the inductees in your bag, you should have gotten a card with the link for that. We'll get those posted as soon as we can for you to share with your friends and family. Let's see here. Also in your bag, you will find a pass, an Athletic Hall of Fame pass. As a member of the UD Athletic Hall of Fame, you will receive a lifetime pass for any University of Dubuque home athletic games. So keep that, and we hope to see you on campus for some games. The game today begins at 6. And then for those of you who didn't get tickets, everybody should have, but if you didn't get any football tickets, just let any staff members know and we can help you with that. Inductees, halftime, we will be announcing you on the football field. We'll do all of the inductees first, the basketball team, and then anybody that's here for the football reunion. So at 5 minutes on the game clock at the end of the second quarter, please meet us down at the entrance to the football field where all of the players run on the field in front of the ticket booth area, and we'll get you lined up for those announcements. Let's see. And then lastly, of course, we hope to see you all back here on our campus home for Homecoming 2019. It's just a few short weeks away. Festivities begin on October 17th with the Spartan Fest tailgate and the big Loris versus UD game on October 19th. So it's going to be a great weekend. We hope to see you there. And again, thank you for being here. It's a great day to be a Spartan.